Oh. Like, I know the mission's over and all that, but, like, you know, might as well clean up while I'm here.
You might as well
This
do
would be
your
prime real estate for somebody to come in.
civic duty.
I mean, look, someone's gonna have to run the nightclub, so it might as well be me. You know, it's only fair.
Hmm.
So now the fun part is now trying to find out where the next fucking boss is. So now you have to actually wander around town and wait for a dossier to show up if you're close. Which again, I don't dislike as a gameplay thing because it actually encourages you to travel around and find places. You know.
True.
And in fairness, like most of them are like kind of big and obvious enough for you to see them anyway, like that big fucking nightclub. But like now you're looking for like, okay, where's the stronghold? It's like, oh, it's out in the middle of nowhere type of shit. You know, that's different.
The strongholds were a great idea for this
Mm. Like I say, it kind of serves as the proper mini boss for the levels, like, you know.
This is an actual Dodge Caliber fucking advertisement.
Back
on
in
the
the time,
billboard.
yeah. Back in the day where like people were happy advertising on the video games. Like I always find that bewildering like playing these old games from like say the mid 2000s where like there's absolutely no issues with sponsors.
Yeah,
they
like
just,
Crazy Taxi had fucking every brand under the sun in that game where it wasn't even fucking needed.
yeah,
It literally had every high street brand just plastered.
fucking didn't Need for Speed have a sponsorship with Nokia?
I think at one point, how is that not going to happen? You're literally knocking down explosive barrels.
No, see what happened there was a hit squad out for me, right? And I was trying to do a race at the same time. The hit squad came around the opposite side and blew me up using the bins. If they weren't there, I was able to loop all the way around and blow them up successfully. So yes, that's the second or third time I've tried to do a race in this world, and I've been
Don't
interrupted.
race. Just don't race.
No,
Not
no,
worth it, man.
let me drive, damn it. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if I can redeem myself here, or will I get lost in traffic again? Nope, did it again. Fuck.
The Ford car convertible.
Oh, stop! Like, I mean, they were very on the nose with the car types. Are
There's a Volvo 240. Bye bye.
yeah. Well, there was a Volvo 240.
Was a Volvo 240. Now it's a hatchback.
Yeah. Well done, agents. You seem to have discovered a new car. I'm not sure how and how safe it is, but well done.
Like what's really funny is they put some of the worst cars in the world in this game. Like that was a Toyota Previa back there. I'm pretty sure. There it is.
Yeah.
The worst minivan in the history of minivans. It's like, yeah.
Or no, the worst car ever made is the Fiat Multipla. That's famously the car with tits.
No, it's true. I mean, it did have like a resting sports bra on the front.
Yeah,
of it.
exactly. Yeah.
However, we never got that in a video game. That annoys me.
Probably not because like I'm nearly sure if you put that in the game, it'll probably count as nudity.
But I mean, like you want that car so you can try your best to make it good.
Yeah.
You'll never be able to, but you always have that hope there that I can take this multipla, I can make it into fucking something that Vin Diesel would love
You want to put it into Need for Speed and soup it up. Is that what you're trying to say?
You could put it straight into fucking Forza Horizon and yeah.
No, not even Need for Speed. Put it in fucking Midnight Club. That's where the fun is at.
There you go.
That's
Midnight
it.
Club or Need for Speed Underground. That's what you want. Right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So even though I did fuck up the convertible there, but where I crashed just happened to be where I had parked up the agency car at the start of the game, so it's still there.
What makes this even funnier is I'm pretty sure they've advertised that Dodge and not put it in the game.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like it probably is the thing where like they can keep the advertisements and then they
Oh, you're
run a
nearly there.
space
You're nearly there. Final checkpoint.
Yeah, but I'm way out of time.
Oh.
In fairness, like I did crash multiple times.
The annoying thing is, right? You've done the stronghold for these Los Banditos or whatever the fuck called. They're still
Mm.
everywhere. Like you just
Mm.
they don't leave or go away.
I don't think they do, no. Or at least it is the kind of the GTA rule in a sense, particularly was it three, I think? Well, like at the latter stage of the game, everyone hates you. Like there's not
Yeah,
one fucking like gang that like thinks you're cool, you
that's a
know.
good point.
Like three in particular, like by the end of the game, you are like it's you're looking to get out alive in any fucking place you're going for. Like
True.
in a weird way, like when you're doing like you're wandering around for like your hidden packages and explore and whatever kind of exploration stuff you have. Like you need to do that kind of at the start of the game when everyone's okay, when everyone's cool with you. Because by the end, like the mafia want to kill you, the triads want to kill you, the cartel are going to kill you because they got the best guns.
Yeah,
You don't get a moment's peace at all. Like,
they never did a good narco game. I found
hmm,
they could have really done with one of them. Like just a really good narco game.
hmm. But see, it has been like that stuff like that has kind of been done to death in a sense, you know. And at this stage now, when if you try and do something like that, people are just going to go, "Oh, this is just this game all over again," you know.
What games have done narco stuff?
Well, like anything with a fucking drug habit in it, like,
No, I suppose. So what I mean is like a storyline where instead of being a good guy, you're a Sicario hitting people for the cartels.
Call to Juarez, or something similar to that. There is a game where you actually are in a drug cartel. I can't remember the top of my head.
Okay.
There is one. I just can't remember off it's not. It was kind of a semi sandbox game. I think it's called the Juarez. So Juarez is part of the certain part of the
If it's,
title anyway.
I thought Call to Juarez was like a Western stuff, like way back
Yeah,
in the.
it is. But I think they had a game in that series that they turned it they flipped it on its head and they made it a modern game. Hollow Juarez is
Oh, okay.
dead, but Oh, do you know what it is? It's probably made from the same people. Is probably what I'm thinking of. Um, yes, I think that could be it. Let me see now, because it was Ubisoft once upon a time.
Yeah, true.
So, and like Ubisoft, they have so many fucking franchises on the go.
That's
Um,
true.
but yeah, there was definitely one where like you were actually part of the part of a cartel. And a lot of it was down to balancing like who's in it and like what kind of stuff you're running and shit like that. I'm almost certain
Yeah.
it exists, but I just can't place it off the top of my head at the minute.
I'm trying to see that as well. There's like a turn-based strategy one, but I wouldn't even class that as.
No, yeah, you're
Um,
looking for an actual sandbox experience.
yeah, I
Again,
don't think there
as
ever
daft as it
was one.
sounds, Vice City Stories is kind of that, isn't it? Like you're running a cartel in
I
that game.
suppose actually that's a good point. Yeah, we did kind
Yeah,
of get that from
you are getting into cocaine business,
Rockstar.
bumping
Yeah,
into Phil Collins in the process,
it's fucking hilarious.
You get
Honestly,
a
love
free
that man.
Phil Collins like concert in a PSP game. What the fuck is going on?
I did
Are
love
we on
the
cocaine? Like,
I did love the Motley Crue reference with Love Fist. Like I did
yes,
love that. Like you
not even that, but
have.
the fact that they made their own. Well, is it a Motley Crue reference or is it a Spinal Tap reference? I know one is inspiring the other anyway, but
I think
still,
it's half and half because
yeah,
you've got the look of Motley Crue, and I think just
yeah,
the general attitude of Spinal Tap.
yeah, because like all the lads are like they're Scottish, aren't they? So or they're all UK
Yeah,
oriented.
they're all English. Like they're all
Yeah,
like yeah. Well, I
so I think
mean, yeah, you had a video game with Slayer in the soundtrack. I mean, I think that was people were clamoring for like if this is an 80s based game, they
hmm,
wanted like 80s fucking rock and metal. They got it. You know what I mean? They
yeah.
fucking got it in
Oh,
droves
come
with
here.
that game.
The soundtrack is sublime. Like it puts you in there in the fucking
As
into
soon
it.
as
And
soon as soon as you hear V Rock, you're like, holy shit! Right? Okay, it's going down.
hmm, as controversial as this sounds, Dave, that was not my radio choice.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
What was your station of choice?
Ooh, has to be Flash FM.
Really?
Yeah, proper fucking 80s pop. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it properly. Switch between that and Emotion 93.3 and just like rock out the fucking love ballads.
Nah, I was a V Rock guy. I always was. Like the fucking that station was the shit. I did like the other ones though. Like I'm not lying. I
If,
loved every radio station on that game.
well, all I'm saying is that if there is a radio station that has Toto's Africa on it, I'm going to listen to the radio station. That is just the way it works. Those are the rules.
That's fair. That's
You know?
fair. Um, in that game, I love that like the Laszlo timeline continued throughout these
Of him
games.
just being
The
an absolute
Laszlo, he's
nonsense.
been in them all, bar that I think
Yeah.
he wasn't in the fifth. I don't think he was anyway.
Mm. He is in the
He
fifth. He's a character in the fifth.
Oh, he is
He's,
a car. Yeah, he is
he's
the talk
he's the
show
fucking
host, isn't it? The game show
yeah.
host.
He's the Ryan Seacrest
Yeah.
piss take. Yeah.
So he's been in every Grand Theft Auto, and
Mm.
even in the 80s, he was the V Rock fucking disc jockey. Like, he was the DJ on V Rock at the very start, where he's a young Laszlo. But the best
Yeah.
Laszlo of all time is Grand Theft Auto 3, without a shadow of a fucking doubt. Chatterbox was one of the best radio stations I ever listened to.
And the best thing is, what I love about those games in particular, especially the radios, is that a lot of them were improvised. The
Mhm.
actual Liberty City ones, not Liberty City to a certain extent because they were more rigid, but the Vice City ones in the PSP game, the VCPR one there was mostly improvised.
That's cool.
Meanwhile,
Oh,
here's
look.
your Sanchez.
Violetta Sanchez.
Here is your token woman gangster of the game. There is one per gang because that's equality.
True.
Sex and violence are her favored tools. Beyond a severe beating lies the allure.
Yes, it's 2007, so therefore sex and violence are our greatest tools.
Firearms and vehicles.
We literally
Mid
cannot
to late
write better
2000s?
female characters than this.
Yeah, it kind of was. I mean, John Laurinaitis was booking Bram Panty's pillow fights live on WWE TV. So, yeah,
It was the
like,
style at the time.
yeah, it was how it was going.
We've got better since.
You would hope.
I live
Also,
with
this parkour was way ahead of its time.
It was, to be fair, it was just on the cusp of the other ones coming out, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's no Mirror's Edge, but
Oh, yeah, true.
you see, Mirror's Edge was a console game that should have been kept for VR.
Oh god, no, that'd be so disorienting. Like,
That's the point, though.
Even the thought of it is like it's disorienting enough as it is, let alone with a fucking VR headset. Oh my god! Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure an adaptation has been done or something similar to it, but fucking hell, because the color palette is so sterile, it's so white. I just can't picture it. Like, the bloom would kill you.
Yeah, true. I done Flight Sim in VR, and it's like a whole other beast. It's like a whole different game.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I remember us having this conversation. I'm still very skeptical about VR generally because I like having the separation. I think for sim games though, it is perfect because, like I said, for flight sim, you're in the cockpit, like, you know.
It is literally, yeah, that's literally it.
Yeah.
Like you're in the cockpit. Like it's just fucking nuts. Like I like it when VR has its own world, which it does. If you go on your VR headset and you look up the games, like they are really their own game market, their own
beast,
marketplace. I mean, they have their own games. There's nothing that's been ported over apart from Skyrim VR.
And Elite Dangerous is a good one. So that's space exploration.
That's true. I mean, that's along the lines of Flight Sim again. You're in a cockpit. You know, it's very much all first person. Very rarely do you leave the spacecraft, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But Skyrim is one of those ones where you have a first person there anyway, first person view. Your hands are visible, so yeah, of course you'd make a Skyrim port for VR. Why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a natural switch over. Yeah.
Yeah, and another generation it could fucking bleed onto.
Yeah, and then of course the racing game genre is just like tailor made for VR as well.
Yeah,
You
there's
know?
one on PC that a lot of people play, but it's weird. It's a subscription model. It's iRacing.
Yeah, and that's the racing. That's the actual the honest to god racing sim.
Yeah.
So a lot of people use that for their esports.
Because I was like, oh, I'll look into that, but I was like, no, I actually need to learn how to.
You need a proper
function.
rig for iRacing.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. You need a proper fucking racing rig for that.
Yeah.
But a set of course is supposed to be really good as well. But
Yeah, it's the same idea. Just the same idea. Just that's more of an easier entry level into it. But iRacing is the real shit. That is like fuck the graphics, fuck the aesthetics. This is just the actual bare bones of a sim racing setup.
yeah,
And
I
then
like
depending
that
on
they've
what your
done
rig
that.
is and what your steering wheel and so forth, that's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, Flight Sim with the mods is a true to life flight simulator.
Yeah,
But what really got on my nerves about the initial launch was there was so many things wrong with it. Things weren't working. There was like it wasn't really a true sim at the beginning because I was like this is way too easy. Surely if I got an actual cockpit, it wouldn't be that simple. Now in the case of Airbus, more likely than not, it is actually that fucking simple.
Mm.
You just have to learn. You just have to be able to fly manual when you really fucking need it.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. When something goes wrong.
Yeah, so I mean, they have a new one coming out, Flight Sim 2024, which is almost entirely mission based.
Ooh, okay.
So you have the likes of wildfires where you can fly your craft over a wildfire, whatever, different
Yeah.
scenarios, supply drops, things like that. Like it's a scenario based version of the sim rather than commercial aircraft flying
That's
like
kind of cool.
which is really cool. But I hope
Yeah.
it doesn't. I hope that doesn't lose its realism in the process. Like I don't want it to become almost like a fucking flight
Like a
sim
game,
RPG.
essentially. You wanted to stay as a simulator as
Yeah,
opposed to a
you
game.
still.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep the sim aspect, but incorporate these little kind of things that
Elements
people
to it,
have
yeah.
been doing with mods anyway.
Well, like I said, like that's something to get the balance right as well. But it's also like what does the actual, shall we say, the game audience want? Do they want it more to be a game, or do they want to,
Yeah.
shall we say, properly double down on the simulation and like give yourself essentially keys to the kingdom and do whatever you want?
Yeah.
I think you never please everybody in that sense, but like so long as you kind of have the general idea of like this is why like sometimes you might have like the better off having two different games for that purpose. You
Like
have your
here's the
traditional flight sim and then your mission based one somewhere else.
Yeah, so here's the list of what they've got here, right? So the activities that are featured in the announcement video were aerial firefighting. So we've gone over that. If there's a wildfire or whatever. Search and rescue, cargo transport by helicopter, air ambulance, agricultural aviation, so crop dust and things like that. Mountain rescue with helicopters, skydiving, so you take a Cessna up and people jump out. Aerial construction, transportation of industrial cargo. So basically, you'll have your cargo aircraft for that. Then you have remote cargo operations, so your kind of bush treks and stuff like that.
That's cool. Yeah.
VIP rental service. So you can do private aircraft. You can do private airline type of thing. What was it? You can do Rebel Air Race. I think they're bringing the air races into it. Flying gliders, which is already in there. Scientific research, experimental flights, and low altitude training. So they're bringing in a ton of different things, but military
That's
aircraft
quite a lot,
is a big
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so they're bringing in some military aircraft, which I'm really excited about because that was one thing that people tried to bring in to the current one, and were building it,
Yeah.
but they never really worked properly. So to actually have a real military aircraft that I've seen physically fly over Edinburgh during fucking lockdown and every other fucking time, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I can't wait to be able to do that. Load her up with the cargo and take her from Ramstein in Germany to fucking Bryce Norton in the UK and do that fucking run that they do every day. So I
Yeah.
mean, I like the idea. I just hope they execute it the way it should be executed, the way it should be done. Keep the realism, but add the activities to keep people locked into it.
That's the real challenge now, is to actually just keep people playing. Like
Oh,
that's the-
absolutely.
know.
I mean, if you're a real hardcore simmer, yes, you're going to do the 3 and 4 hour flights across from like London to fucking Greece or whatever. You're gonna do all these there's people I've seen that do the transatlantic flights, and I'm like, Me personally, no.
Yeah.
I done the one I done was I took an Airbus A320 and I went from Dublin to Edinburgh. Then I done the Edinburgh to Amsterdam. Then I done Amsterdam across to like the Czech Republic to the Balkans. Then I done like up to Estonia and across to like Moscow and stuff like that. I done like little short hops right the way across, and that's the way I wanted to do it because I was like, I'll spend an hour and 20 or an hour and a half or whatever. And I'll do
but
this flight.
it's not a long haul to the extent where like
I would
it's not boring.
with a 6-hour transatlantic flight. You're autopilot for like 70% of it.
Yeah, so there's not much fun.
Do you know what I mean? The pilots are there for risk. You know, if something goes wrong, they're there to fix it. They're there to handle it.
Yeah.
But an Airbus A350 going from fucking Paris to New York, about 5 minutes after they take off, auto throttle and autopilot are on.
Yeah.
All they have to do is increase the altitude. Now, there's a lot of stuff. I'm not saying that that's all they have to do to fly a plane. But, like, all the hard work is done in the setup.
Sense, you don't have much to do, though.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you can do the setup true to life in the game if you wanted. But a lot of the hard work is done pre-flight and in the landing. Everything else, the autopilot handles. But if you're doing that transatlantic, like, in the sim, are you really going to sit there for 6 hours? Some people have literally taken off, gone to work, come back and landed the plane. That's how it works. That's not how it works. Like, you didn't do that flight. You just fucking let. It was like the old Gran Turismo method when you had to do the 24-hour race. You put it on in the morning, you go about your day, and you come back hoping to God that you've won it.
Yeah.
Was it the Mazda? Was the Mazda 787B? I spent fucking weeks trying to get that car.
Oh yeah, it's memories.
I think it was Gran Turismo 3 where you had to do like the 24-hour race, true to life. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, that was 4. 4
was it 4? Yeah, Gran Turismo 4.
And I have done it. I have done the 24-hour race. In my defense, I had a broken leg at the time, and I had nothing else to do. So I did it over the stage of 2 or 3 days. So.
Well, Jesus Christ!
This is also the time of this in the PS2 era where there was no day or night cycle, so it was just basically 24 hours of just daylight. Just like there's nothing else, no weather, no nothing, just 24 pure hours of just going around in a fucking circle.
Did you just go through an unrendered set of steps there?
No, the stairs are broke or shattered.
Oh, that's okay then. I genuinely thought you were just like, oh yeah, we're not going to render in, fall down.
I was actually worried that I'd have to jump the rest of them, but no, it's basically some stairways are destroyed, so you have to go the opposite way for these little ambush points, I'm sure.
So how much gameplay would you get out of this? How many hours of gameplay would you get out of this game?
I don't know actually. I tend to go by if I am going by like your traditional like playthrough, I suppose it's probably going to be about 7 to 8 hours is what I've seen online.
That's unbelievable to get that. I never thought in a million years you'd get that out of this game.
But bear in mind, like that's also could be like 100% completion, or doing your upgrades and everything else in between. Like if I was bluffing my way through, like I could probably clear this in about 6 or 7 hours. But that's also like a lot of trial and error and maybe not seeing the full whack of the game.
Yeah, true.
But as you said, like the full whack of the game is this essentially. like it's a very low entry level, but there's not much else going on. You know what I mean?
This is it. Like this is your.
Yeah.
This is it. Welcome to Crackdown.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it was like the Skyrim thing, right? The Skyrim thing was funny. I done a playthrough of Skyrim where I was like, right, what happens if I just do the main story? I think I got through about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I was finished the main story.
Yeah. It can be that quick, yeah.
Without obviously this game was built for the side missions. But like a lot of people were like, wow, that game is fucking short. I'm like, no, it's not.
I found her.
Hello.
The entire clip in her back. Oh, she's still alive. Okay.
Of course she is. They don't die that easy. Now they do.
She also had like a terrible like idea of where she was
you
placed.
You fucking Chuck Norris her to death. You evil man. Fucking hell. Roundhouse. Bye bye.
thank the peacekeepers for this.
But like, there's not even that. It was the fact that like she actually like put herself up on the fucking like she Rapunzeled herself up in the tower so she
Yeah.
couldn't escape. Then,
Hey, look, hookers beating other guys to death. Nice.
as I say, it's like, good job, citizen. You started off a feminist revolution by killing the worst woman in town.
I love the way you can pick up the dead bodies and just literally throw them.
Yeah.
Like if you go over to a dead body, you can pick it up and you just throw it around the place.
just weaponize the fuckers. And they've been kneecapping there for good measure. So apparently at this stage I can now start targeting the big boss of Los Muertos. But where's the fun in that when I can take down all the sub bosses first and milk this gameplay for all that it's worth? Also, that and like a bit of some constant trial and error will not be good for this playthrough. So, well, at the same token now, it's we're at the stage where like I don't know where to go next because you haven't told me where to go. So let's have a little wander and see what the gameplay comes to us. It does eventually, just to be clear.